How we doing, folks? Rice. All right, how you doing, folks? I am Doug Rice, and as the banner announces below, welcome to the Doug Rice Show. Please like, subscribe, share the live, and buckle up, Buttercake. This is going to be a show. We are going to discuss what has been on the minds of Negroes for the past week or so. I am fresh from moderating TL Ministries' wonderful program, Perpetual Hatred. I want to plug that first. I want to first tell you to go look at that live, Perpetual Hatred. Brother Yakoba has done an excellent job at conducting that live as a host. He is the most gracious, most patient, most thoughtful individual I have ever seen. I mean, the last thing you want to see is him mean. Now, that I can tell you. But in this respect, he showed the poise and grace of just it was just amazing. It was like Secretariat running the Belmont Stakes, man. It was just fluid. It was absolutely amazing. The panel was absolutely amazing. Yes, I was on the panel. I'm not plugging, but I was. And the information just poignant. The delivery amazing. There was nothing. It was one of his best. It was one of his best lives. I can say that. It was. I've watched him since 2016. I think that he is most capable. I think that today, his patience toward the end of the show was of an epic effort of great proportion. If you take a look at the live, you'll know I myself have not yielded that kind of patience in my life as of yet, but I'm working on it. And again, I recommend it because it is poignant. It is prescient. The topic of perpetual hatred, and one that can be attached to the subject matter that we'll be talking today. And again, I recommend that you go take a look at it. It was well over 2 hours. He exhausted himself in exercising his patience. And he is my minister. I want you to understand where I come from when I talk about Brother Yakoba, Brother Teao, and Brother Dante Fortune. These I call and consider and coin the three ministers. They are my ministers. I do not go outside of that purview when it comes to ministering, because those are the three I have chosen, stuck with, and gotten behind and supported as best I can. And so today's effort, Brother Yakoba, I shout out to you, deeply respectful of your talent in handling all sorts of situations. Dear God, it was like a master class. You guys take a look. Pay attention to that specific last 15, 20 minutes or so. Try to keep away from the chat. I don't want to really talk about that. But anyway, today, how are we? First and foremost, please be sure to share the live. You know, I don't get a big audience. I don't even know if I'm after a big audience anymore. I don't even know why I do this anymore. I don't do it because I am making a healthy, wealthy living. I'm not even looking at that. I'm looking to do is talk to Negroes. That's right. I'm looking to talk to Negroes. And today, have you seen them? Are you watching them? They're as nervous as cats in a rocking chair factory. Oh, man, they are in their feelings. Are they not in their feelings? They are in their feelings. They are in their feelings. Nothing but I'm trying to stop cursing. I really tell you something, folks. Esau, Edom, whatever you call them, I don't care. They're white folks. They are on the predatory rise. Are they in the hell? Leaders, eating these Neanderthal, Edomite heathens. Let me tell you. Oh, boy, they are ready for segregation. Now, I typed in resegregation, and unfortunately, it's not a word. It's a double. This, folks. I know they don't want to hear it. Today, my brothers and sisters, I am talking about resegregation. And if you didn't hear what I said, I will tell you what I said because these people will not stop me. I am sick of these creatures. I'm tired of them. I'm sick of white folks. I'll say it because I say it every day. You see me saying, I'm sick of them. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of having to deal with their mental issues. I'm tired of dealing with their neediness. I'm sick of the white folks. And I appreciate you sticking by me and hearing what I say because today I am not going to play. Like, subscribe, share this live. I'm going to be here. They can do what they want. They can attempt all they can attempt. They can try. I do not care because this is being recorded, so I can just post it anywhere. Hey. So today we're going to talk about resegregation. We're going to talk about what's facing this nation. We're going to talk about keeping our place, and we're going to talk about staying out their face. Let me tell you something, folks. I've been watching them on TikTok. You know, I keep my fingers on the pulse of the social media bloodline. I try. I keep my finger on the pulse. I try to watch everything. I don't try to miss a beat. I'm looking in every corner. I am on their monkey necks every time they get out of line, every time they get in business that's mine. Let me tell you, folks, I kid you not. And the way I speak and carry myself around these white folks, partner, I carry myself around them into the face. Right there, I put them in place. And I kid you not, it's the truest truism I can speak. I know people question that. I've had some people question whether or not the conduct that I display online is mirroring the conduct you see in person. Let me promise you. Let me give you my absolute word as a U.S. Marine former. Let me give you my word as a human being. Let me tell you what I mean. I don't stop. I keep my foot on their mental necks. I got this for them. I got this energy for them anytime they want it. And I'm not playing. But today we intend to delve into the topic. They have opened the door that we may crawl through it, walk through it, run through it, and more. Resegregation, segregation, the topic of separation in this country. What do they think they are doing? Well, we're going to ask a few questions. I got 7 things I'm going to talk about today. 7 questions, 7 queries, 7 things that we're going to discuss regarding this effort begun by the chief Cheeto, the orange idiot, as I call it, Donald Trump. And if you've missed Donald Trump hates black people, please take a look at that, because I kind of like that particular writing I gave to him, and I did intend to send it to him. I think he's gotten it. Yes. First thing we're going to ask, we're going to examine, well, what's he done? What's he done? Let me tell you what he's done, okay? He omitted from the rules, the law, into the mechanisms of this country. He's omitted the need for contractors to build within the framework of any government edifice separation of the races. In other words, they are free to create a blacks only bathroom, a whites only bathroom, a blacks only water fountain, a whites only. And this is somebody's gonna do it. Let me first tell you this, somebody's gonna do it. One of these racist white nationalist contractors cannot wait to spend the millions upon millions of dollars he will get on contract money from the U.S. government, an unending amount of money. Well, he's just going to be able to, he's going to exercise his white nationalist dream to build the kind of disrespectful edifice that he can. He is going to put it all in too. You can expect it, my brothers and my sisters. And please like, subscribe, and share this live, because this is going to be a good one. We're going to talk about these white folks today. Okay? Because they on one, man. They on one, and they in their feelings, man. Everywhere I go, when I post something, let me let you know they are on point about trying to get in Negro conversation. And let me tell you, when we got anything that they don't agree with, that we say that they want us to agree with, what they say, they are opening their mouths. Let me tell you. They are ready to express their sentiment right in our faces. And when they find me, they find the right one. Because I don't stop until the job is done. And what I do is I take their words and I shove them right back down their damn throats. You can believe that. But this segregation thing, what I've noticed is that we are vocal about segregation. We welcome segregation. I look at social media everywhere, and everywhere Negroes are saying, oh, bring it. Oh, you want to be segregated? Come on, let's bring it. We're ready for Sun Up Towns. I know everybody saw that follows me in any respect. The Sun Up Town skit that somebody did on TikTok, that was brilliant. Tell you what, boy, you got about 5 minutes to get out there. This is a Sun Up Town right here. Yes, we got seasoning. Oh, yes. We got all that. First, Donald Trump has initiated the opportunity for a contractor that gets a government contract to exercise the fantasy of creating a throwback from the 50s, almost building a temple to that era, so that he can put on bathrooms and all these other public places within the governmental building, whites only, blacks only. He might even go so far as to say Negroes. That'll just give him the warm and fuzzies. You know that there's a contractor out there that's got the means, the method, and the mechanisms to make this happen. It fooling ourselves, because they're on an unstoppable course. They're by some unseen paradigm that's in their mental, and they do this thing. They've got to do it. They've got to do it. Oh, they've got to see the 50s come back. These are fossils from the 50s that haven't dropped dead yet. Haven't done the world a fever and removed themselves from the very planet. And they're still here, and they're still capable, and they're still able, and they're still ready. And now Donald Trump has signed into existence the opportunity for one of them to fulfill their fantasy of undoing the 1965 Civil Rights Act through building almost an art piece, folks. And I pity the governmental fool that walks in that building and obeys the rule. It is not going to be cool, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. There's going to be a government building built that's going to look like a museum. You're going to walk in. Let me just say it. You're not going to walk in the front door either, Negroes. Let me stop you right there. You're not going to walk in the front door. No. You're going to have your own entrance around back. You hear me? Oh, yes. They're going to go all out when they build this building. You know they're going to do this. They're going to go all out. They're going to want to exercise the fancy. We're going to be walking through the back door. First thing we're going to probably see is blacks only fountain right there, water fountain. And naturally, they're going to make the white fountain look glorious. It's going to have multicolored water, different flavors. You can push different buttons. You get different flavors. You can get carbonated orange. You can get flat peach. And then the black water fountain just going to be the basic water fountain that we remember when we all went to school. You know what I'm saying? You're going to walk up to it, going to be too low, and the water pressure going to be too low. Go say blacks only. You can't put a cup to get your cup in there, You remember? Now, I was born in 65. I was born right after the Civil Rights Movement was passed, Civil Rights Bill. I was born in 65. And never wanted Rose to this day. I will do that. That's another story. That's another show. Can you imagine the edifice that will be created? Don't you know? Can't you see it? White people are going to walk in proud of that building. And let me tell you something, folks. Don't you get a notion that somehow this whole thing is going to be stopped by some phantom white man that exists only in your dreams. He wouldn't have gotten this far had white people decided to stop him long ago. This is a go. This is going forward, friends, my brothers, my sisters, my Negroes, my Hebrews. This is the movement that Donald Trump is on the move. And he's got behind him the money, the means, the mechanism to make it done. He's got nothing to prove. He's proven it. Now, I've had some discussions with some of my supporters who call me on the phone ever so often. One of my greatest supporters, Paul Patan, my other supporter. I'm I'll think of his name. But Paul Patan, in this particular conversation, we talked about the Project 2025. We had such a lively discussion as to whether or not he is initiating each of these intentions. And let me say this, folks, out of the 300 things that Project 2025 has to do, out of 300 projects, 100 of them are done, finished. 46 of them are en route. They are being done, and the rest, 150, he's just getting around to get to them. This man is doing exactly what he has promised to do. He is going all out with the white supremacy. He is to implement the Jim Crow when Negroes had to get off the side of the sidewalk. They see a white man coming. When Negroes couldn't look white people in the eye. You remember, don't you? You remember when Negroes, grown-ass Negroes, had to look at little children and call them sir. And of course, the little children had every right, reason, and responsibility to call them boy. This is Jim Crow. You remember that? He couldn't laugh in their presence. You can't laugh at a white man. Jim Crow. This is what they want to try to bring back. And this is the path that they have set themselves on. This is it, folks. This is it. It's perpetual hatred in action. This is it, man. This is it, y'all. Don't you know? They have lost their collective white minds in the fantasy of white supremacy. And with the stroke of his pen, Donald Trump again and again proves that there is no limit that he will not go to. There's no line that he won't cross. There's no threshold he won't reach for. But we all knew this, of course. Did we not? I mean, we knew what Donald Trump was. We knew we had a problem. When Barack Obama embarrassed this maligned, mentally maligned, insane and out of his mind white man at the dinner for the press. Remember the press corps dinner that they have every year? He clowned this cracker into oblivion. That's right, I said it. You heard me say it. He crumbled that cracker right in the middle of God and everybody. Yes, he did. Made him feel like he was 2 inches tall. And that man held that resentment against black people to this very day. And Donald Trump is angry at black people. He's mad at us, boy. And if he can implement the mechanisms to make Jim Crow and the fossils from the 50s feel like men again, man, he'll do it. And he started it. Segregation, he wants to bring it back. So with that, first, let me thank each and every one of you for showing up. I'm informed this evening because I had to show such restraint as a moderator for Brother Yacoba at the end of his show. It was epic. I'm kind of proud of myself. I showed a little bit of discipline. So let's get to these things. The 7 things, the 7 questions, the 7 queries that I'd like to bring to the fore of this as we investigate resegregation. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. So first question I want to ask, have they thought this through? Let's address that. Have they thought through? Have they really thought this through? You want to be segregated, really? You sure about that now? Now, listen, now I've said this in no uncertain terms. The segregation that we envision when we talk about segregation and the segregation that they envision when they talk about segregation, 2 different segregations, y'all. Oh, yeah, dog. 2 different animals, not the same. No. See, the segregation they envision, let me explain it to you. What they want is the ability to keep Negroes out of their orbit entirely, to control the mechanisms that allow black people near them, their towns, their businesses, their women, everything. They don't want Negroes anywhere near. They don't allow Negroes, and they want a tight control over that kind of thing. They don't want to let go of that control. I mean, you ain't allowed nowhere. And if you come, you're going to come through a certain door. You're going to do it a certain way. And you're going to do it the white way. You hear me, boy? And of course, the reverse, the diametric opposite of that will be that they are permitted anywhere in our orbit they care to be. We create a town, a black town, that's our town, and not their town. They are openly invited to walk on in and change things if they want to. See, that's the segregation they envision. Oh, no. There's no quid pro quo of mind your damn business. No. No. They have to be in Negro business. They have to be a part of the Negro conversation. They have to be involved in our development and in all things. They have to. So that's the segregation they talk about. Do you understand me, brothers and sisters? Because I want to get your understanding. I hope you understand when they talk about bringing back segregation, and I'm watching the brothers and sisters dance and bring it on back. No. That's not what they're talking about, y'all. Now, the segregation that we talking about, the segregation that gets us hopping up and down, jumping, dancing, line dancing, and all that good stuff, well, it involves a fantasy. Let me explain. The segregation we talking about involves them minding their goddamn business, leaving us what we call the hell alone. leaving us be, letting us spend our dollars amongst us, with us, by us, for us, always, and never spending another dime on another white thing in our black lives. Do you understand that? Not permitting them near us, inviting them to be elsewhere, and them taking us up on that invitation. See, that's the segregation we envision. You know, we stay away from what they're doing because they ain't gonna have nothing anyway. They're gonna have no seasoning on their food. They're gonna have no music. Let's just get there, folks. Their sports is gonna be boring. Everything they do is gonna be just bland and plain and watered down and weak. And that's the kind of segregation we kind of looking at. Now, you give us that, if we could guarantee that on a platter, well, I'll have that served to me twice. Absolutely. Yes. But that's not the segregation they're talking about. So let's stop with that. They're talking about segregation that includes them in our goddamn business anytime they feel like it. And let me give it to you plain. Let's just fantasize together and say that they start off exactly as we envision. Here's the problem. The problem is white people. See, let me explain. See, they can't keep us off their minds. Do you understand what I'm telling you? They cannot exist without being in our business. Now, they'll give it a shot. Oh, yeah, they'll give it a shot. They'll give it every shot they can. But I had a conversation with my wife about this. I told her 30 days. 30 days is what they'll give us. See, they'll start off with you stay over there and we're going to stay over here, and that's going to be the end of it. And we're going to look at them and go, yassa, yassa, and then we'll go into our communities, begin the building and creating and advancing and improving. And we'll start that process. And we won't give these widows a second thought. These wet brains will be removed from our consciousness in a matter of minutes. Once we turn our backs and go into our collective communities, the thought of white people will eventually evaporate from our psyche, and it'll take about 4 minutes. And we all know it. We'll forget about these white folks so fast, make their heads swim. Now, the same cannot be said for what they do when they turn their backs on our black asses and walk back to their white, bland communities that now are devoid of any flavor. Let me tell you what the white psyche must endure. What they're going to do is they're going to go back to their homes, and for a day or so, they're going to be so glad, oh, ain't no niggers. Oh my goodness, this is a fantasy. This is utopia. Ain't no black folks. Yes, we got all this to ourselves. But they're not going to leave it there. They can't. Their brains are wired in a specific way that will not allow them to just let us go away. No. No. It won't be but a few days when the mechanisms of their minds begin to turn and be inclined to wonder, what the hell are they doing, I wonder. Now, over the next few days, we're just going to be going about our business, rebuilding, revitalizing, reinvigorating, reinfusing. We're going to just be winning and not losing. We're just going to be doing it. We ain't going to think about these crackers. That's right, I said it. They're going to be a memory in short order. Just a couple of days, and we won't even recognize that there were ever white people in our lives. But not them. No. It'll be just a few days, and their minds will trickle toward interest in what Negroes are doing in their town. What do you think they're doing? And a few of them will stave off the inevitable and look at other white folks and say, who cares what they're doing? Let them mind their own business. They're not bothering us. And they'll be, yeah, I know. They sure ain't bothering us. Well, what's wrong with you, Jim Bob? Didn't this what you wanted? You ain't seen a nigger in 4 days, and you even thinking about what's the problem? Well, you right. Time will go by. And eventually, we all know, we all know. Eventually, be that quiet evening when one of them is sipping on a daiquiri, sipping on some Kentucky whiskey, get a little alcohol in their systems, and then their minds will turn to the quiet Negroes that are miles away, mending their goddamn business. Haven't even thought to reach out. That's how you do it. Now, what you want is by suddenly a small and slow resentment begin to climb and crawl into their minds. At that point, they'll be plotting in reverse. They'll be wondering, what is it that God's quiet? Why haven't we heard from them? It's been weeks. I haven't seen a black person yet. And I'm nervous. What you mean you're nervous? You didn't see a black person yet. I don't know what you think they know, Bill. Well, I don't know, Jim Bob, but you think they do. And that, my friends, will be the beginning of the end. I want you to understand that. That, my friends, will be the beginning of the end for them minding their goddamn business. Because as we all know, white people cannot live without being in black people's business. And what are they going to be thinking? Well, what are they doing over there? Well, it's mighty quiet over there. Have you heard anything? I haven't heard anything. Not a single one of them has come from their town over to ours to even ask how we're doing, to impose upon. No, not a single one. Haven't even gotten a phone call. Well, I think they might be up to something. And there it goes. What you mean? Well, they so quiet over there. I think we should go over there and check them out and see what they're doing. They could be doing anything. They could be plotting against us. Well, Jim Bob, you said you don't want to hear from these wood spear chuckers. You didn't want to hear from these jigaboos anymore. You didn't want to hear from these Negroes anymore. It's been 3 weeks. You ain't heard from them. What's your problem? Well, I just don't know. I think there's trouble afoot. And I'm going to tell you something right now. The absolute worst circumstance any Negro who's minding his goddamn business can face is a white man who thinks that we're plotting against them. Because all they have to do is think it, and it becomes a reality in their weak, feckless minds. 30 days. 30 days or less. And they will be knocking on the door of Negro Town. They'll be at the border. They'll be at the gates. They'll be in our business. Have they thought this through? Do they really want segregation? I don't think so. I think they want segregation on their terms. I think they want the kind of segregation that allows them to come into our communities and check things out to make sure nobody's plotting against their paranoid, needy, weak, goddamn asses. That's a problem. That's a segregation I don't want. And that's a segregation that we will get. It doesn't matter how it starts off, brothers and sisters. It does not matter how they start off. The agreement to be separate but equal, because they can't stand niggers being equal to them. The very thought of a Negro being equal to them in any respect, having equal chance and equal opportunity, equal circumstances, it's something they can't live with. And they certainly can't live with not knowing what we're doing. For God's sake, they can see what we're doing and they can't live without knowing what we're thinking. You be quiet enough around any of these white folks and see what happens to you. A gentle, subtle, yet very impositioning, an inquisition, an interrogation, a probing into the minds of a quiet Negro is necessary at some point if they're too quiet for too long. around too many white people. So can you imagine if we move outside the realm of their reckoning, outside of their sight? These white folks will imagine a fright. And it won't be 30 days. You mark my words. If it ever happens, if it ever occurs, 30 days until they're knocking at our goddamn door. And you know what they're going to ask? What y'all doing over here? Well, none of your goddamn business. And that'll be that. They'll want in. They'll want to see what's happening. And what examples do we have that tell us what these white people will do if segregation ensues? The one glaring example that we all know that we've never escaped from fully is Tulsa, Oklahoma. Dear God, what is wrong with these creatures? Tulsa, Oklahoma, a bustling city, developed by black people, successful, no welfare, no begging, no unemployment. Everybody's minding their goddamn business. And here come crackers, incapable of letting us be. We're like an infection on them. We're like something that they must have in their possession, either mentally or physically. We must be subject to these beings at all times and everywhere. So there is no escape except out of here. So therein lies the first question. Have they thought this through? No, they've not thought this through. You know what they're going to miss out on if they get segregation? Do you know all they're going to miss that Negroes provide these beings? Our energy, our essence, our negrosity will be there to comfort them. It won't be to put them at ease. It'll be there to make them feel good. Everything Negroes do makes people feel good. That's a t-shirt. The second question I have, what conditions will segregation bring? Well, we just hit on a little bit of it. What conditions will they face without Negroes in their lives? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The sports, the cooking, the music, the association, the flavor. Are you feeling me, brothers and sisters? They can't do without us. Can you imagine what would happen to the paradigm shift in their mind? Negroes no longer a part of it. Can't you even envision the blandness, plainness, the lack of anything that has any soul in it? Oh, yes, at first, they're going to be real high on their own white supply. Oh, yes, yes. They're going to love it. They're going to love, there ain't no niggers around. And then suddenly it's going to dawn on how much they received from our presence in their weakened lives. They don't even understand what we give them by our very being amongst them. They don't quantify the loss that will be imposed upon them from our absence. They don't understand that the mechanisms involving their very existence are tied in to Negroes being a part of it. Do you understand me, Negroes? The value of our presence will only be challenged by the impact of our absence. I want you to understand the conditions that will be brought to white people if Negroes are not a part of their lives will be abysmal. It will be suffering. Do you understand? I hope everybody gets what I'm saying, because I'm not playing. These people will eventually understand that they have unplugged from the source that they've relied on for centuries. Donald Trump has set them down a fool's errand without Negroes. I thought that's what I wanted, but maybe I was wrong. Where are all the things that they provide? Where is all the joy that we used to glean from their very presence? I don't know. It's gone now. They're in Negro town. They're doing their own thing. What? Yes, and look what we don't have now. We don't have music. We don't have sports. We don't have entertainment. We don't have acting. We don't have anything. We don't have our food. There is no food. What is this? I don't even know what this is anymore. What do you mean food? I haven't eaten since Jamal took his mom and left, man. What's happening? And then you got to think too, folks, the impact on those that associate themselves with us so closely. Now, some of them have been called Wiggers. Oh, yes, Doug is going in today. Yes. What about the Wiggers? What about them? What? I'm sorry, no cut today. What about the poor Wiggers? Well, they'll have nowhere to go. They'll be in limbo, won't they? And since they must be around their own people, they're going to be miserable because they're going to act like the very people they got rid of. And then they're going to find that Negroes provided what they can't. And white folks will look to Wiggers to provide what Negroes did, and they can't do it. And that's going to be frustrating. Have they thought this thing through? Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, they want segregation back, do they? Do they really? Let me tell you what I did notice. I noticed that the celebration of segregation as a possibility for us, we're dancing in the streets online. Dear God. But I don't see white folks doing that. And you to think from all the things that they do, I don't see white folks saying, yes, bring back segregation. I mean, even the racist white folks ain't saying that. I don't see them coming into the conversation. Oh, I can't wait to get away from you niggers. I don't see them saying that. I don't see them at all. I see too many of them embracing the possibility of never seeing them again. You tried that. Well, exactly what I said. Expect of this circumstance. We can expect an open arm policy of separation equal. Expect them to laugh through their goddamn teeth themselves and to us. That's what we expect. We definitely expect them all to grow down. We can expect individuals who do want to around figuratively and literally, and we expel these individuals and keeping firm the task at hand, which is segregation. You wanted it, people wanted it, go back where you belong. Oh, I didn't want segregation, yes, but you see, you said nothing happened anyway, and so turn on what you got about 5 minutes. But Black people, and we love you. But we don't know more what you don't do. You need to understand, folks, the and the penalties for what you desire are great. They will come and bite you in your lily white asses. I mean that. That's what we can expect. We can expect an infiltration. We can expect them to come hat in hand on their knees, crawling and begging and roll. Please, please let us in. Oh no. Mm-mm. Now, I'm not a crude individual. You guys know this. I'm not crude. I try not to be crude. But shall we, and excuse me, ladies, because I love you to death, their white women are going to be coming knocking at the door for reasons of which I will say no more. I'll just leave that right there. You guys can pick that up if you want to in chat. You know, I don't look at chat, and you know that's that. But that's going to be a problem. A lot of white men's feelings gonna get hurt. What can we expect? Because if there are no, how shall I say, options for these white women that have enjoyed options for so long, and suddenly there are no options for them, white men's feelings are going to get hurt. The only reason they haven't been hurt up to this point is because there's been accessibility to the options that white women take when it comes to black men. Oh, let me leave that right there, and I'll say it again. What can we expect? That's what we can expect. That's what we can expect. My fourth question, will it change the paradigm? Will it change the balance of this country? Will it change the paradigm? Of course it will. Of course it will. Where will it affect the country the most? I already figured it out. Sports. You want a segregated country? That means we're going to have our own NFL, the Negro NFL. And it's going to be filled with some talent. And what? Really? And the NBA all black. What can I say? You want to go there, do you? You want to go there? Now, sports betting is going to take a major hit. It's going to be slanted. There's going to be all kind of points. I mean, every game involving the Negro leagues is gonna come with a handicap that's out of this world. It's not even going to be fair. And when we go in there, wipe them out and come back, I mean, are they even want to play against us? But let's not go there. How about this? What about watching the game? Let's just say we don't play each other and things are not the same. We're just playing against one another. Negroes playing against Negroes, white folks playing against white. What kind of game does that look like, NBA wise, NFL wise, MLB wise? I don't look too good to me. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I don't look too sharp. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. Maybe my mind is slipping. How's this going to look? How's this going to affect the paradigm? Really? Let's get away from sports. Let's go into restaurants. Let's go into some foods. Now, you ain't going to have a black cook serving no black food, no blackware in Whitesville. And they are going to have the blues. I will tell you that. I mean, they're going to look like they got TV. They're going to be that sick. Be like the 1920s again when there's no overweight people in this country, no white overweight people in this country. What is they doing? Really? You want segregation? How will it shift the paradigm? I wonder. Now, look, y'all probably going to be able to swim all you want. What else? Hockey is going to be yours. What else, y'all? You've helped me out here. Y'all know. I mean, there's certain things you're going to dominate. I'm sure golf. Tiger Woods is you're going to be with the Negro Golf League. He ain't going to be around y'all. And he is excited to watch too, isn't he? But I mean, y'all have golf, horse racing maybe. What else, y'all? Help me out. I mean, they're going to have a few things. Man, it's probably exciting to watch. What about the sports with the representative of the country itself? I mean, you have the Olympics. At that point, what are you going to do? Gonna have a black team and a white team. Who's gonna come watch you white folks do shit? Stop playing with me, man. How paradigm shift the country gonna take? It's gonna be magnanimous. The clubs. What about the clubs, man? I mean, I can't get down to some of the music that they thrash about. No, they're gonna miss all that. The music. They're not gonna be able to dance to anything. I feel bad for white folks with rhythm because they got to work with what they got. Segregation. Listen. Don't listen. Like you'll never hear that again. Segregation. That's what you want. That's how it'll shift the balance. And of course, we all know we have $1 trillion of buying power in this country. Boy, they don't want to lose that. But lose it they will if they initiate full and equal segregation. You don't spend in white areas, you spend in black areas. And since there's not of us as there are of them, we're going to be living large. I mean, money is just going to be circulating within the black community, and that's going to change how we live and how they see us, and they ain't going to be able to stand there. That'll be the trigger that makes them try to destroy us. So that's number 4. That's the questions have been asked and answered. Number 5 question: can this even happen? Can it even happen? I mean, can it even happen? I mean, let's get to the negotiation of separation and segregation. What are we going to talk about as we get this in line? What's going to be a blacks only city? What's going to be a whites only city? I mean, what you going to let us have only the ghettos? Is that what you're thinking? You do know that we will make the ghettos shine like a diamond, right? And you can't have that. And we're the ghettos in the major cities: Philly, New York, Chicago. I mean, so that means you're gonna have to move us out, because you know we gonna show out. We're gonna throw that money in their partner. We're gonna make things look good. And we're gonna be near the major financial infrastructures of this country. Oh, I don't know if you can deal with that. Can it even happen? Black dollars are gonna be separated from white dollars in every spectrum you can imagine. Don't play with me, partner. You want this? That means gonna be a black Wall Street for real now. Oh, you didn't think about that. Oh yes, and of course, because we are segregated, we are going to be represented in the world stage by our own. Y'all ain't thought about nothing, have you? Oh, can you imagine the global trade of black people, the sports gear, the sports memorabilia we import alone will probably be a multi-trillion-dollar business. And you ain't getting none of it, cracker. You ain't getting a dime. You're not going to get none of that money, because it's all mine. Can this even happen? What about the white folks that aren't determined to not separate from black people? We're going to have people get them to separate. What than we do this really question 5. Can we even do this? I'm not trying to go long. Question: white people from the face of the fucking planet. That's right, I said. Stay unplug of so once they around and influence eventually vanish. They're gone, like they're never here. It won't be pretty. They're going to be ruined. Are you serious? You really want to separate? Somehow we are going to suffer separating from white people. Have you lost your minds? The only people who suffer if this is an equal playing field is you. You suffer. Let me remind you, there are 150 million white people on the planet. I count them. Okay? And that leaves 7 billion people of color on the planet. I count them too. If the United States segregates and black dollars stay with black dollars and black infrastructure, black trade, black global presence, black commerce, who do you think they're going to be wanting to do business with? Sure, I mean, the Europeans, they'll give them all the support in the world, but even they're going to want some black dollars. Sure. What y'all talking about? Can you imagine, with the assistance of the globe of colored people on the planet, infusing those trillions upon trillions of dollars into the black society that you have created within the United States, where do you think you will end up on the spectrum? Nowhere. You'll be done. You'll be starving. Like you starve for attention. You starve for relevance. You'll be finished in a matter of months, maybe years. Nobody will want to do business with you. No one will want to do business with you because the vast majority of people on the planet are of color, and they see that black people have their own now, their own everything. So we trade with the black United States of America and let the white United States of America fall to the goddamn wayside. Bye. That's the impact. And my final question as I try to close this show, because I know I've been going on, my final question is, what are the consequences, good and bad? Because consequences come in two flavors, good and bad. What are the good consequences? The good consequences for them is they get what they want. They get a rights-only world, compartmentalized in their little fucking communities, like community they got all over the freaking, United States, these sundowner towns where young black men go to die. You feel me? And they get that. And they get what they want, and they have the white society they've envisioned. And then they go about their plain, dull, goddamn lives and eventually evaporate into nothingness. So I combine the good and the bad consequences. What about the good and the bad? What about the bad consequence for us? There'll be a few, because there'll be some brothers, because we got them, they're in our ranks. They just love the white folks. Some of them will be knocking at their door. We're going to let them go too. We're going to have some traitors. We're going to have some infiltrators. We're going to have some of these folks that stab us in the back. We're going to have some folks that bring about the white experience in the black community. We'll do away with them rather quickly. Our sense of justice will go much more swiftly than theirs. We ain't going to play no games. You're going to go down. You screw around, you're going to find out, partner. Because we ain't going to play. We have one shot to do this. We're going to do it all day. So the good and the bad consequences are really buried deep within the consciences of these people. Now they're suddenly considering this. I know they're considering what's happening as we are. And we all can play out what will happen, what may happen, what can happen. But the consequences, good and bad, will be suffered on both sides. However, again, I will tell you that the end result of this experiment that they want so desperately to revitalize will be their eventual demise. And there we have it, folks. There we have the show, Doug Wright Show. Decided to give it all I had to go. I've been at this a while. I hope you can hear me in about an hour. I appreciate your being here. I hope that I have given you some food for thought. Understand, folks, for all we fought for equality. We fought for an equal footing. They want to turn back the hands of time. They want to go back to a segregation state. I say, let them, but understand that they will never leave us alone. Understand that they never leave us on our own. They can't do it. And I challenge them to prove otherwise. Because the moment that they see that this has backfired on them, and that this ain't the 50s. This ain't the 50s, fools. The world don't regard white supremacy the way it used to regard white supremacy. It used to have firm grasp on the media, the news, and all of these things. That ain't happening no more. Everybody got the news and information in their hands. What are you talking about? So you want segregation? Do you really want segregation? I want you to send this live to every white person you may consider at least open to the possibility that Trump might be making a vast and great mistake, because if you get what you wish, you might wish you never got it. Are you out of your minds? You want to resegregate, do you? You want to try it one more time? No, you don't. Thanks so much for being here, folks. Again, my name is Doug Rice. This is the Doug Rice Show. been wanting to do for so long, get back in the saddle. Please support this effort. I need you so bad. Give you an update. I'm going through physical therapy. I'm going through counseling. I'm going through all these things because somebody hit me. And it was a little bit traumatic. I was driving for 12 hours a day. You know, I was enjoying myself. I loved being a professional driver, and now I'm not a professional driver anymore, or at least until I can get this settlement down. And until that happens, I depend on my black friends, my brothers, my sisters to make amends financially. If you know that I do the PDF thing. The PDFs are an amazing group, a collection that I have. And I mean, I've gone over them. Just amazing. The Delectable Negro. Oh my God, that is an eye-opening expose on white people eating us. Of course, without Sanctuary, the photo edition, I can't even show that on any of my social media platforms because they will cancel that social media platform. You know that. Those of you that have gotten these these PDFs from me and supported this effort, I do thank you. But if you are interested in supporting the Doug Wright Show, if you like what you hear, first and foremost, let me let you know. Spread the word. Tell people what you've heard. And I do appreciate your time. I appreciate you listening to my rhyme. Please hit the like, the subscribe button, and for God's sake, listen to TL Ministries. Go check out the dovetail of this effort is that you go see Brother Yacoba and the latest live that he did, Perpetual Hatred, because it too plays into this whole segregation thing. They hate us too much and love us too much to segregate us. Now you think about what I've said. They need us too much. They hate us too much. They can't stand loving us this much. But I want you to go check out Brother Yacoba's show because it was, again, a master class of patience. And I enjoyed being on the panel. You folks have yourself a wonderful day. And I'm going to outro with music. And then I'll say, thank you for tuning into the Doug Wright Show. Like, subscribe, and share. I will be here next week, and I hope you'll be there. Y'all have a man.